年前我哋 channel 第一條片係講關於乜嘢嘅呢？我哋就 blind taste Catena Zapata 嘅 Adrianna Vineyard Malbec。1年之後呢，我哋就請到 Catena Zapata 嘅 Brand Ambassador Tamara 咧，同我哋上嚟分享更加多關於 Catena Zapata 嘅故事，同埋當然仲有佢哋嘅靚酒啦。大家一定要睇到最尾，最尾咧將會有個大驚喜俾大家嘅。So today we are very happy to have Tamara representing Catena Zapata and share the wine with us today. On the 17th of April, actually it's the International Malbec Day.
Yes, correct.
So can you talk about why Argentina, especially Mendoza, is the perfect home for Malbec to grow and to produce excellent wine there?
I think it's a matter of a lot of components that it makes Argentina so famous for Malbec. First, because we have the Pre-Phylloxera Malbec grapes, and it's unrooted, so it has the own system of roots, which is something that nobody really knows about it. And then the altitude that we have because of the Andes mountain, that's something that it really impacts on the climate, on the different type of climate during day and night, the diurnal time temperatures we have. Also the sunlight exposure that the grapes are facing is we are talking about the highest spot 5,000 feet elevation, and then the grapes get a very, very good exposure to the sunlight. So it becomes in a very, very good tannins, very soft tannins. And
as I know that Mendoza is quite high altitude, right?
Yes.
And it's very dry. So how does the grape got in enough water to grow?
Yes, well actually Mendoza is a desert, so we need to irrigate the vines. And for that we use actually the snow smelt water. So we have different channels, like furrow channels, a system that allows to use to keep the water, to maximize the use of the water. And then it has a lot of calcium carbonate at the same time. This is snow smelt water, so that's one of the key points of the irrigation that we use.
So when we talk about Malbec wine, as we know that Catena Zapata is probably the greatest wineries in Argentina that produce a very fine Malbec wine. So what do you think that can make it so special? Can you share with us that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of the story of the family. They were producing wines for more than 100 years in the region. So we have 4 generations now. The 3rd generation, Nicolas Catena Zapata, he is famous to be a pioneer to planting vineyards where nobody planted before in that like a 5,000 feet elevation, some regions that he discovered and makes that finesse and elegant wines. But at the same time, he is a well-known and a pioneer to put Argentinian wine in terms of quality in the world map. He has the commitment to make wines that can compete with the best wines of the world. And in 1995, Laura Catena, his daughter, joined him, and she has a lot of scientist background because she's a doctor and actually she studied biology. So she brings all the scientist aspect to the winery, and they create the Catena Institute of Wine, so which is a research institute. And they start discovering and going deeper about the soil study and the parcels study of the vineyards. And I truly believe that this is another revolution that they made, that Laura made together with his father, that they discovered the Grand Cru of South America, which is Adrianna Vineyard. So this vineyard actually, it was rated 6 times with 100 points from the most important wine critics around the world. And that was, she called it Gold in the Vineyards in his book.
So just now, Tamara, you talk about like Catena Zapata, the Nicolas Cuvée is actually the first luxury cuvée from Argentina.
Yes.
And also it's the kind of the first premium Bordeaux blending.
Exactly. We consider the Nicolas Catena wine as an original Bordeaux blend, and the first vintage was in 1997. So that's a story behind this, which is very interesting. In 2000, the wine was released, the first vintage. In 2001, it was a blind tasting, a series of blind tasting that they taste together, Soraya, Haute Brion, Opus One, Latour, all of them 1997. And in this blind tasting, it was, for example, Justice Robinson, Ox Clark, and then Nicolas Catena came in first and second position. So it's very interesting, and this make a very important success of quality wine for Argentina. It make like a statement of how Argentina can really produce a wine outstanding with a such a great quality and can compete with these outstanding wines from all over the world. And another point is actually when he was a witness of the Californian Revolution wines. Nicolas Catena is an economist, and he was giving, economic lessons to the students in California. But at the same time, when he had time, he visited other producers like Robert Mondavi, and he started to understand that to make a finesse wine, it's necessary to go to cool climate sites, but at the same time, it was necessary to change some vinification management in terms of technology that it doesn't exist in Argentina. So at that point, he bring a lot of barriques, a lot of press, and a lot of different. He bring knowledge and different kind of techniques to vinify the wines, and that's what it makes Nicolas being so renowned in the industry in Argentina, because all those knowledge and all those techniques, it was expanding for other producers in the region. So the pineapple of the Nicolas Catena is Cabernet base, and that's a favorite grape of Nicolas Catena, indeed. And we refer to this wine as the original Bordeaux Blend because back in the 1855 classification of the first growth of Bordeaux, it was the vineyards at that time were planted with mostly Malbec, and then the wines also has a huge component or big component of Malbec in the wines. So in this case, it was particularly Cabernet Sauvignon and then Malbec, and in 2016 the winemaker Fernando Buscema decided to add a bit of a Cabernet Franc, and I think that's a great idea. It brings a lot of freshness to the wine, and 2016 was the coolest vintage in the last 30 decades, so it's an unusual vintage. So here we have a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon components, but then at the same time you have all the fruit of the Malbec. The Malbec make that roll that soften the tannins of the Cabernet Sauvignon, and then you have that freshness and flowers also from Malbec and the Cabernet Franc.
Yeah, I really like the Cabernet Franc. Like it adds some more floral notes and also a little bit herbaceous notes in the background. Yeah, which I really like. It's really very fresh and elegant. And the Malbec is, as always, is the richness, the kind of the velvet and very enjoyable texture.
Yeah, very silky.
So Tamara, you're also a certified sommelier?
Yes.
Right. So what would you recommend for us to do the food pairing for when we get a nice bottle of Catena Zapata?
Oh, that's nice. That's a very good question. I would recommend my first option is to go with beef and grilled meat. I'm from Argentina too, so I should say that the barbecues are the perfect match with the Argentinian wine, and especially if it's Cabernet and Malbec. If we think about the local food, I really like to pair with a char siu. I think it has a great combination between sweet and sour and the richness of the dish. It will pair perfectly with the Bordeaux, this type of Bordeaux blend. When I taste Malbec, it reminds me a lot to the sauce that we have in the Peking duck, which is the sour. Yes. So the plum sauce, it's something that it really matched with this. Also thinking about, for example, the Malbec itself, it has a lot of vanilla compounds, and that's something that we can find in a lot of umami dishes, especially like let's say, well, actually that's some pairing like a complement pairing as well. So I think that this wine, it really suits for sweet and sour and umami flavor, and I found that a lot of local food, it has that characteristics with the soy sauce. What's the name of I don't remember the name of the like a deep fried chicken that it has that kind of it's like a jelly.
Kulo. Yeah, it's like I think that is a pork. It's orange in color. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, orange color with some green bell pepper on it.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
What's the name of that?
Actually, I forgot. Sweet and sour pork. Actually.
Yeah, I think it's just sweet and sour pork.
Okay.
Or chicken. Yes.
我哋 channel 1歲啦，咁你哋只要咧喺下邊留言區踢3個朋友，同埋答我哋2條問題咧，就有機會得到呢個 Nicolas Catena Zapata 嘅 tasting set， 一次過試晒3個年份嘅 Nicolas Catena Zapata。問題1 ，Catena Zapata 係嚟自阿根廷嘅邊一個產區咧？ 問題2就係你會用咩菜式去配出一支 Nicolas Catena Zapata 呢？我哋最後就會抽出3位幸運兒去得到呢一個 tasting set 㗎啦。